Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. September's an exciting month. We go back to work, back to school, back to our routines, and here's the energy that will be affecting you. The tarot cards that will be used this month correspond with the astrology. They are the Two of Swords, which represents confusion and lack of vision. The Five of Cups, which represents loss and depression. The Moon, which represents emotions and the psychic. And the Seven of Wands, which represents holding one's own. Cancer, the tarot card for the first week of the month is the Two of Swords. Now it shows a blindfolded woman holding two swords that are sort of going in opposite directions. And above her is floating the moon in the sky. And this suggests there may be some confusion in the air due to a lack of clarity. So it's important to take a moment to look clearly at your present situation to gain understanding so you can restore your balance. Then you can move ahead. Now, as we look down into the astrology, the month begins with Mars in Virgo in your third house, and that's of the mind and communications. And this is in opposition to Neptune in Pisces in the ninth house of understanding. So this is a sort of a warning to think carefully before you speak, especially with people that you don't know or people you do know that you disagree with. And you have to understand here that truth may vary with different belief systems. So different people definitely think different things of the truth. And then you can be helped out a little bit by a trine from Mercury to Saturn. That happens on the 4th and connects your 4th house of foundations with the 8th house of intimacy. So this can bring cooperation in important personal and financial issues. And long-term investments are more important than short-term investments here. The week will end with Venus in the 4th house squared to Pluto, and that is in the 7th house of partnerships and relationships. And this happens on the 5th. So this warns you to listen carefully to your partner's needs. You don't have to give in, but you have to listen. As we go into the second week, the card for the second week is the Five of Cups. Now it shows a very despondent looking man, and he is not seeing the future. He's just thinking of loss here. He doesn't even know that even in the past there's still some good things. There's still two cups. So you may be sensing that there's something deep inside that's troubling you on an emotional level. And you may be feeling a loss or a personal disappointment. Now, this may be a good time to let go of the past and look into a new direction, because look, there's a castle up there in the future and a bridge that leads to it. So the future here may appear to be better than what you have experienced already. As we move down into the astrology, the second week begins with Venus entering Scorpio. So that is a very important move, because Venus doesn't particularly like being in Scorpio, but she does like being in the 5th house, and this happens on the 10th. So this asks you to focus on your creative and your romantic interests. You can be highly sensual, so you can listen to your deeper feelings, but try not to mix creative and intimate ideas. You might have to keep that a little separate. Now, the reason for this is there is a big T-square that is forming. You can see the moon is moving up, and she squares Neptune and she squares the sun. And this can bring confusion that can affect your thinking and planning abilities. Now, if you have some sort of quicksilver idea that's going to be really successful, check the details first before taking action. The card for the third week of the month is the moon, and she is shining brightly in the sky here. But there is a dog and a wolf down here that are sort of howling at the moon, and there's a crayfish that's exiting the waters. Now, this suggests there's a lot of psychic and emotional energy around you, and it may be affecting you on a subconscious level. You need to deepen yourself and listen to the messages that are coming to you. They may be bringing you some insight into the future. Now, as we look down here in the astrology, the third week is disrupted by a square from Venus to Saturn. And this is a challenge that asks you to be careful, especially in new romantic or sensual situations. And you may be a little bit safer staying with creative projects, and they can be a little bit more rewarding and less dangerous. Now, as you can see, the moon is moving up, and she will be full in opposition to the sun on the 20th, and that can suggest you need to reevaluate your future ambitions. Your goals may be a little bit unrealistic or confused. Then there is a Mercury-Pluto square on the 22nd. There's Mercury squared to Pluto. And this may expose some information that can help you when dealing with family or emotional issues. So what you need to do here is protect the people and the relationships that you value the most. So don't be going attacking anybody. As we move into the fourth week, the tarot for the last week of the month is the Seven of Wands. Look at the energy in that card. Now, it shows a man holding his own against opposing forces because he has taken the high ground. Now, this suggests there is a lot of energy around you. Some is combative, some is disruptive, and some of it is simply just competition. But you can hold your own against the forces around you. But you should also, at the same time, try to maintain your sense of truth and your sense of justice. Now, as we look into the astrology for the fourth week, we see that Venus is in the fifth house, and that is the house of romance, and she is in opposition to Uranus. Now, this happens on the 23rd, and Uranus is up in the 11th house of associates. So what you need to do here is not mix your social obligations with your personal pleasures. You have to keep proper boundaries, and that will protect you from any awkward situations or moments. Now, you'll also be helped by a trine from Saturn down to the Sun. This happens on the 25th, and that can help heal any personal misunderstandings that have taken place. But you're still going to have to be careful with your words because look at Mercury going retrograde on the 27th. And this is in the house of your personal security needs, so pay attention to that. And then the 30th of the month will bring a need for some common sense, especially with sensuality, because Venus will be squaring Jupiter. And both of these planets enjoy pleasure and the good life. So do use your common sense and control yourself. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and this is my story. If you are a spiritual seeker, it may help you on your journey. I believe your spiritual development is as important as your religion. If you look at Christianity, it focuses on the life of Jesus. But Jesus was never a Christian. He was Jewish. If this thought intrigues you, you'll enjoy my new book, Light from Water, Freeing Jesus. It's available on Amazon.com, and through fine bookstores. And it may help you on your spiritual journey. I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe because these videos are free, and hit the little bell for notifications. And for a special offer, visit my website, internetpsychicreadings.com. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out.